Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your DevOps SRE DevSecOps coach. I have close to 18 plus years of experience working in multiple MNCs around the globe and having in-depth knowledge of DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. So I would like to introduce you one certification program in a DevOps, and that is we call it DevOps Certified Professional. Now this is a 2 months of program, 25 tools of DevOps you will learn, and apart from that you will also get the access to the LMS, lifetime access to the videos portal. It's a certification program, and you will have 25 assignments and 2 projects along with it. It's a completely weekend program, so here you have classes on Saturday and Sunday. So as part of this course, you will learn multiple things. Here you see that you will learn Linux, AWS, Docker, Jira, Confluence, Python, Git with GitHub, SonarQube, Maven, Gradle, Packer, Artifactory, Selenium, JMeter, Ansible, Kubernetes, Helm, Terraform, Jenkins, Datadog, Splunk, and Neuralink. Now, how do we, apply for this? So, how can you reach out to us? So, you have a WhatsApp number and email ID. So, please reach out to us, and we'll help you to onboard this program. Apart from this DevOps certified professional programs, we are offering other certifications as well in a DevSecOps, SRE, and one of the very comprehensive programs which we have is in Master in DevOps Engineering. Yeah, so feel free to get in touch with us and then enroll for it. Thank you. Okay, so the first thing is, what is Git? What is Git? So we all say it's a version control tool. Now, next question you will ask, what is version? So version means anything you want to version. It's like an English word. You want to version something like a V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. You want to take a version of code, or you want to take a version of directory structure. You want to take a version of something over that period of timeline, right? So versioning, right? Versioning, version control system. For what? Version for you will get to know through the versioning in the past who has modified this code, what modification was made, where is this source code, what time it got modified, and all stuff like information. So it's a version control tool for source code. Okay, mind it's for source code. If you want to version the build directory structures and all, so build, if you want to version, then artifactory is a good. If you want to version the directory structure, then docker image is a, if you remember that docker image is a kind of versioning layer, we call it, right? Version control system for the directory structure. So that way, source code. Now, some of the information I'll give you, like Git is a platform independent. That means you can install anywhere. It's written in C. Who's the father of Git? So Linus Torvald is the father of Git, and Git is so popular from last 10 plus years. We are still having training today. So everyone is using Git for versioning their source code. Okay. So this is some introduction. Now next question is how to install it. So simple. If you are Windows guys, or Linux or Mac, so because you can install anywhere, so you can go to this website. This is called git-scm.com. Git-scm.com. This is the website, and I'm browsing from Windows, so it's coming for Windows. If you browse for Linux or Mac, you'll get a Mac. But yeah, you install through exe, that's download, and you get it through this. Linux, you can install apt get install git or yum install git. Both you can do that. And Mac also through through DMG files or something like that. You can do that. Okay, so in Windows, when you install, there's one more extra utility you get it, which is called Git Bash. Okay, so this utility, I have installed the Git in my machine. So this is the one I'm talking about, the Git Bash. So what is the advantage of Git Bash utility? Is a command line. So basically here, not only you can run the Git command, but color combination is very good, very good. And on top of it, you on top of it, you have basic Bash commands you can run being on Windows. Actually, I said basic. Okay, so that's the advantage of it. So many people love this because they want to enjoy the Linux kind of environment in Windows. So that is what it is being used. So for this training, I'll use this one only. Okay, so now we have installed it. Any questions so far?
What
Hello.
this the Git is just a tool, Rajesh. Like the Bash is like attached only with the Windows, right? Just to confirm.
Yeah, this is the command line utility. Git, you can use it on the command line, like say CMD. Here also you can use it after installing that package. Here you see Git is, you can use it here. You can use the PowerShell also. See, but just because of Git Bash, this is giving you prompt, which is little interactive. So it's good to see, experience this
Git also
for the
having
Git.
the UI version also. Git, even though it's command line also, we having the UI version also for Git.
Yes, many UI version is available in the market. One of the UI version is source tree. Okay,
So,
this is the
no,
open
in the Git
source.
also, Git itself having the UI version. If you'll open that, you can see that we having the UI also.
Uh, Not exactly. Probably you're talking about the Git K. So it's
Git
not a
UI,
UI. Uh,
yeah, it
this
is type
utility.
of UI only. You can open the Git UI. It is like whatever you are doing in the command line, you can do in the using the Git UI.
Yeah, yeah. That see this utility which you're talking about is not getting with the utility. I mean, say uh, this you won't get it. Okay. So see, I've installed this and Git CI. You're talking about this one, Git GUI.
Ah, yeah, 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 good, yeah, Git UI, GUI.
So this is not a exact UI you can say. Okay.
But yeah,
This
command
is
you don't want to remember the command. Just go through that. Everything you can find out in that. So every
mm,
command is there in the UI itself.
okay. I'll just pause this discussion for time being. Okay. First of all, this not a exact UI you will get it. Uh, you have to just uh, hmm, wait a second. Where is this note? Just give me 2 seconds. Let me close few. Huh. So you not get exact UI for everything. Basic UI. This is what I was showing you. Git K kind of thing. So use if you really want UI, you go for source tree. I was showing you. Source tree is designed for all this work. So you see here free Git UI for Mac and Windows. So this is a open source product for Atlassian. So it's a good one compared to other Git things. But let's say if you talk about the UI, you can use with a Visual Studio also. You can install a plugin and you can use install with that also. But if you talk about the multiple tools as part of it, so a hell lot of tools you will find it out. So not focus on those stuff because you'll get lost. For example, where is the tools? Just a second. There is a one utility. Uh, Hold on. They have modified this page. So here, look at this. So this is the UI tool, and you see the hell lot of tools they have it actually. So that's not a problem. The problem is don't focus on the UI tool. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And why? Uh, because you need to be faster using command line rather than lost in the tools and all stuff like that. Okay, so can we go ahead and do that stuff? Any questions so far?
How do we know that we got this Git on the command prompt, Rajesh? Just type Git.
Simple. Just type git, and if command is not found, is not coming, that means it's stalled. Simple. And it's not for git, for every tool actually.
Okay.
Okay, so this is something which we have to do. Now the question is, how do we get started? So how do we get started? How do we version the source code? So first thing, you create a repo. Now many people, what they do, they open up a command line. By default, when you open up a command line, where you are, here here you are. What files you have? See, so many files. So people blindly start versioning all these files and then end up error. Don't do that like that. Go to some places, some uh, empty folders, and do that. I'm specifying all this thing because tomorrow you will not have a message for that. So what to do in this case? So where I am right now, here. So I will go ahead and create one repo. I mean first directory. So where should I go to? I'll go to the C drive. This is a git bash in Windows. How do you use it? Probably you know that. Now here I'll create one directory, mkdir Saturday, and Saturday I got inside this. So now if you want to explore this directory, start dot, and now in front of you this directory is there. See, it's empty directory, csat. Inside that I'll create one more directory, repo1. Here it is. And after that I'll go inside the repo1. So that way I'm making sure that I have started working in the empty directory. So cd repo1 and done. So now what to do? So coming back to the sudo code, create a repo. How do we create a repo? Git init. Okay, so git init is the way to create a repo. Simple. So if you see that here you have a repo, this is the one, .git. But this will not be visible to most of you because this directory is hidden. So if you want to see this directory, you have to enable this here somewhere, properties section, and not this, view section, show hidden items. Okay, so you have to do this to see the directory. So that's a directory, create a repo. Now you want to version something, correct? So create your file, write your code, simple way, write your code. So let me behave like a programmer now. So I'm creating a code here. So file1 Java. This is my code, and here I'm writing some code, faking code. In this we need to version, right? So my system is little slow today. So this I'm writing a code, line number 1, line number 2, line number 3. This is my Java code. Done. So write a code like that. You can quickest way to create a code, touch command. So touch file2 dot java, empty file I created, and two more files I'll create, 3 and 4. So just I'm doing this one because just faking out like a code. So you did this coding. After that, third step which you have to do, add a file to Git. This is the third process. So here write a code, add a file to Git. How do you add it? So here git add file1 dot java. Okay, this I did it. And then finally 4, commit a file to Git. So how do you commit? So commit, before that there should be some user identifications, right? Like who's committing this file. So here there's a one time you have to do git config user dot name Rajesh Kumar, and this is the one time you have to set up for each repository, and email, and Raj DevOps at the rate of Rajesh Kumar dot xyz. Okay, so I set it up. You can check this out, config hyphen list, and here this is the options. Okay, so I did it. Now I want to commit this. So how do we commit? So git commit hyphen m. Why you are committing? Adding first commit and done, and history. And now if you see that, these are the thing I did it. So if you look at the pattern, what you need to do after creating repo, write a code, add a file, commit. Write a code, add a file, a commit. And these are the commands I run. And now I want to see the commit. So git log and see that who has committed, Rajesh Kumar, when he was committed, why this guy has committed this file, what has been committed. So git show and this commit ID, and this is committed. Here this is the code. Are you understanding?
Uh, yeah, Rajesh. What is hidden master?
Hidden
Head, arrow master
head
in
head
bracket.
head head
Head. Yeah, sorry,
head
sorry.
huh. So here this is a branch, master is a branch, and head is the pointer to the last commit to the master. Head is the last commit of that particular branch pointing to the master. So this concept right now you'll get little confused. Once I get completed the fundamental, then when we get into the branching and merging, then we'll discuss in detail. But for time being, everything is committed in the branches, and there is one default branch for each repository which is called master. In other tools also, this is default branch sometime in Perforce. You have trunk, SVN. We have some other branches like that. Okay, so everything is committed in this branch right now. Got it, all of you?
Yes, Rajesh. Rajesh, while adding the file, we also copy the file from different location, right? Instead of adding.
Huh, copy paste you can do that. No, that's a common sense, right? That's
Okay, just
write a
asking.
code here. I said you can copy the file and then add it and commit it. That's not a problem.
Okay. And how do we know if somebody is working on that file?
No one is working on that file except you, and that is your laptop. Remember that here, the repository, this repository you created, no one has access to this. Your
Okay,
laptop. Am I
right.
having access? No, I am the only person. Okay, so here git log and two more command I run. I want to show you. Git show last commit and git log. These two commands. My git bash is little slow. So history. Here it is. Okay, so now we got to know how to work with a basic workflow. After you create a repo, write a code, add files to Git, commit a files to Git. But you know what? I'm not able to understand these two things. What is the meaning of adding a file to Git and committing a file to Git? What is the meaning of it? Okay, so now let me elaborate this process a little bit so you'll have a foundation very strong, or else you'll keep getting confused. So now guys, here, this is a repo, and I'm depicting here. So CSAT repo one. Now I'll divide into two areas. So here I divide two areas. One area is this itself, where we have a source code, and this area is a repository. Agree with me so far? All of you?
Sorry, Rajesh, can you repeat? Sorry.
No, I'm just creating a diagram for this. This
Okay.
is your repository, this is the file, and here it is. So where do we write a source code? Human will write a source code. This is human. Where you'll write a source code? This place, correct now? This is your code,
Local system. Yeah.
this directory. What we call it? Workspace. What do we call it? Workspace is the place where developer works, write a code, copy the code, delete the code, modify the code. Whatever you want to do, you modify and do work in the workspace. Agree with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, what you do? So if you see that you add a code, after that you write a code, and after that you add a code and commit the code. So what happens when you add a code? What happens when you commit the code? I want to know that. So this area you have to divide into two areas again. Okay, this area, this is your repository. Okay, and this area you have to define into two area. One area which you call it a stage, and one area we call it a repo. Yes, this is the real repo. Now both the areas is hidden in this one only, but I am not going to complicate more. Okay, so where the stage, where the repo, right now out of context, but both are inside this .git area only. Are you understanding?
This area is called workspace, the left side. What is the right side area is called? General term.
Repository dot git. I've given the
Okay.
path also, no?
Repository. Okay.
Yeah. So that repository also divided into two parts, staging and repository. Okay. So now the question was, my question was, what is the difference between adding and commit? So what happens when you want to, you write a code, and after that, what you do add, git add files. So these files get added to this area. Okay. You can add more files also. And then when you commit, the files has been taken from staging to repository. Okay. And this first commit, second commit, third commit, fourth commit, like that. So now you understood that there's a difference between add and commit. So add, take the file from workspace to staging. Commit, take the file from staging to repo. And that is where this is the final space. So you modify the changes, add, commit. Now you'll say, Rajesh, why we have a staging in between the repo and then workspace? So what happens? Here you have so many files. Many files you keep modifying, adding, deleting, this, that, and all. You keep doing it. So after that, all the changes you move to staging, and then you can check that okay, whatever the files you wanted to modify is there or not. So staging is a temporary review place of all of your activity which you did it here. And after that, if you're sure about it, okay, these are the things which you want to push it, then commit, and it is going to the repository and creating a commit objects. So this is the final versions which is getting committed, whatever you want. So flow is very simple. Work on the workspace, add to staging, staging to repository. So git add, git commit. Did you understand that now?
Yeah,
So
Rajesh.
Rajesh, even after the commit, the code is still existing on an user
Yes.
laptop.
Here, yes. Because you are just taking a version of it, the file content, and creating object here. So the code will be existing here.
But Rajesh, when we say we will add, we adding the code into the Git at staging environment or staging partition, so it is available in the Git. When we log into the Git, we can see that.
Login concept, please take out of your mind. There is
Okay,
no login. I have not logged in. You are working in the local. I never logged in to
okay,
uh, to my machine. So that
yeah,
concept will come, but little later.
yeah. So Rajesh, questions running in my mind. My mind is, if we talk about the stage and repo, so is there any demarcation I can see in my workspace that this file comes in the
No,
available in
not
staging?
workspace. Is there inside this one? No,
Yeah, Git.
here.
Okay.
So I don't want to talk about this directory structure, but because you'll get lost. Because I right now it's not to discuss. Where is the index? Where is the staging? Where is the repo? I don't want to discuss this directory structure now because you're just getting started with a Git.
Yeah, but if I wanted to see whether my code is in staging or repo, is there any demarcation or something like I can see my?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
This code is here. So Git status will tell you which code you have in the which area. So now if you see that these three files, Git is saying, hey, I don't have a tracking of it because I never committed this file. So Git is not having that details. So here, now if I move to git add file2.java, and you see that. So now this file is having no git record, but this file now is in staging. That's the reason, see here. untracked file, it was there. Now the moment you add it, this file is in staging. So here is saying, hey, change need to be committed. And if you want to unstage it, run this command. That means send back to the untracking files. So this is staging. Now, if you see that here, if you see that here, you have file one also. So file one is not showing in the staging, not in untracked file. Why? Because we have already versioned this. So GitHub got to know whatever the changes we had here of this file one, you have here committed. So that will not be displayed by, because the main job of the Git is to version the changes which you have here. So if you have already version, you'll not see that through the Git command. Okay, so that's the reason file one is not coming. So now this is in staging. This is in a still in workspace, and the repository git log, you can see git log command, which is committed in the repository. Here you have. Now, let's say you modify the file one.java. Again, this is the next changes. And I'm adding some more file in code. Add it, commit. And now if you see that git status, I modify the file. Git status. Now you'll get to know, okay, this file not stage. This is not stage. This file is a not staging area. So they say not stage. How come? So Git is saying, hey, this file, the records I'm having it, in the past you have committed this file, but the changes which you made recently, modified, that changes is not version. So you want to stage it and commit it. So you want to add it to staging area. Every changes has to go to staging area. Okay, not stage to for the commit, and then commit it. So now git add this file also, file one.java, and status. See that? So these two files right now in the staging area, and this is the workspace. Now what I will do, if I commit the command, then these files whichever you have in staging area will go to the commit area, I mean repository area. That's the final place for the version. Understood now?
Rajesh, what will happen if you delete the file when before adding and after committing? Will it allow or will there be any dependence?
See, if you delete the file, and if the file is already last time committed in this case, then it will tell you deleted here, and you have to commit the file will be this version will be stored, one version extra version will be stored here. So that is the one. If you delete the file which is not committed, for example this one,
Hmm.
no difference. So let me delete this file 4.java, which has never been committed. So no problems here, because you never committed that file, you created and deleted it. How does that matter? Forget.
Okay. Now, if you delete the file two, what is going to happen? Because that's a
Huh. So
staged file.
file 2, if you delete it, nothing will happen, because you have not committed. It's a new file for them. So
Okay,
your staging will be refreshed.
understood.
So now let's say you have two files in the staging area, and you got to know, okay, my review is done, I have two files. So if you want to commit here all, I'm not entering it. If I type this one, it will be committed all the files. But you don't want to commit all the files. You want to commit only this file, because you have not completed the code of file one.java. Still you feel like there's some work to be done. So now only file 2.java got committed here. See here. So that means you have a file 1 and 2, I mean committed, and 1 has changes, new changes not committed, and then 2 is committed fully. So if you want to add it whole things, add all and commit all. So see the status. Add all means everything in staging now. Any changes which you did in workspace, and commit all. So this is the third commit. And now if you see the status, there's nothing to commit, working tree clean. That means there's no files in this directory which has not been committed and versioned here. To mind it all bitch, you modify the file in the workspace. After that, using git add command, you send it to staging for review, temporary. And when you commit, the commit will take from the staging to repository, and this is the final place for your versions. So whatever you modify, if you want to version, add commit. Whatever you modify in your workspace, if you want to version in the git repository, add and commit. Did you understand that, all of you?
Yeah, Raj.
Okay, so this is the workflow. So now
Why
what
it is saying
next?
nothing to commit, Rajesh, after you add? See, if you
There's
go
no
to the
changes which has, there's no change in the workspace after that commit. So this is nothing to commit because the git purpose is to take a version of all the changes which you do in the workspace, because all this
Uh,
thing is committed, right?
you say git commit, and that time whatever the file in the add, that is the staging area, that is moving to the committed area,
But
which
I added here this command, I added all the file to staging area, no?
okay.
Rajesh, when we do commit and finally all the files move to repos in repo, right? So how can we see the version, a different version, 1, 2, 3, or naming convention? Just wanted to see.
No, okay. I understood your question, but I'll not answer now. So
Okay.
here git log. So this is my first commit, this is my second commit, and this is my third commit. Three commits I did, right? Now you are the human being. Think simple, okay? So you are the human being. So where your version is there? Here, correct now? Where is the version?
Yeah.
Here. And what is this version? So here, this is ID. This is one, two, three. This is not 1, 2, 3 like that. This is the, we call it commit ID. It's a 40 character hash SHA value generated by SHA-1 algorithm. So this is the uniquely identified the commit ID. In short, we can represent 7 character also. This is a universally unique ID actually. Okay. So now the question is, you said Rajesh, how can I get into the, so this is the one commit, two commit, three commit, four commit. So how can I get to the back to the older version which I committed earlier? Correct now? So see here, very simple thing. Modify the code, add, commit. One. Modify the code, add, commit. Two. Modify the code, add, commit. Three. Modify the code, add, commit. Four. So where you modify, where you see the files, workspace. So what you want to do now, you'll do the reverse order. You want to see this, these changes in the, do you want to see the these changes in the workspace? So opposite way. Earlier you were doing this way to take a version of the your workspace. Now you'll do opposite way. Now the question is, how do you do that? So the command is checkout. So let me show you. This is the commit ID, and I'm doing the reverse way now. See that, git checkout, paste, enter. You should read this message. You got this checkout, and this is the things, and this is the, do you remember this file which I committed first time, very first time? So now you have only one files, which is the first commit. Understood? Now, hello,
Rajesh, you're checking out which version. You just you see out of 4
checking
by
out the checking out the version as specify here. This is the first version.
oh first version. I have to go to the log to get that version number. In case if I
That's
need to
correct.
check out the second commit, then
Hmm.
I need to go to the second version.
Right now you have only one.
Okay.
Why? Because I check out only to that version. So what to do? Git checkout master, which is last version of the repository, last commit of the repository. And now if you see that, get back to the this version, last one. So here, see logs. Understood now?
Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions?
One question. So let's say if multiple developers are working and I am one of the developer, and if I push the code from my workspace to repo, okay, so my code available in repo can be accessible by other developer as well, or there is a restriction we can put it as well?
So I have, this is the third time I'm making a statement. I have never talked about the pushing things. That is one thing.
No, no,
And
yeah, sorry.
that's one thing. Second thing, that's the reason I'm saying Git is different. So here, all I am doing is, this is my repo, which is called local repo LR. And what I am doing it, I'm a developer, you are a developer. Sorry, working on your code, add commit versioning in the local repo. That's all you are doing it. So right now that part I'll discuss in some time, but don't mix Git with some other tools also. I'm talking about the Git has no capability as such, but we'll discuss on this.
Okay, okay.
Rajesh, one
So
difference. What is the difference? Git and GitHub. These are the two
I'll
words.
talk about. Okay, so let's
Okay.
move on to that topic itself. I wanted to discuss something more about the Git, but I think that will give you the peace of mind. So let's discuss about it. So this is your laptop. This is my laptop. This is your laptop. This is your laptop. This is your laptop. So now remember, this is my workspace. This is the staging area. This is the repository. So now you understood this. So I'll not represent anything else here. Just represent repository. Are you okay with it? Repository where the committed code is there.
Like local repository. That's correct.
Local
Local
repository.
repository.
Yeah,
Local
we got
repository.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the repository. You are also having it. This is your repository. Where is your commit? All this committed code you have 1, 2, 3, 4 log file, right? Log. When you see git status, git log, you'll see that. So this is my repository, Raj repository. So I ask Linus Torvald, hey Linus Torvald, how can I share my committed code, committed object we call it, okay, committed object with other people, so they will also see the history of my code and they can use it. So Git said, Git Linus Torvald said, uh, theoretically and technically, any repo can sync. Please use the, please hear me out. I'm using the right keyword of English. Sync, I said. Sync to other repository. I said syncing. I hope you are understanding right now. Sync means sharing this. So you sync, you got 3 objects. Here you have 2 objects. You got here also object. That is the syncing. Correct now? So any repository of Git can sync to any other repository of Git using 2 methods. One is HTTP protocol and one is SSH protocol. Are you understanding, all of you? Two protocol, HTTPS and SSH. Using that, any repo can sync to other Git repo. That means you have your one repo, I have in this location, and you must be having in some location. I can sync my repo to your repo to my repo. You can do that. Anyone can do that. That's not a problem over the network. So when we send this R object to this repository using this two protocol, we call it push. I'm pushing that my commit to your repository. But if you say, hey, I will pull, so you want to take it from here, so I will pull. This is called pulling functionality, push and pull. So push means whatever the objects you have here also. Pull means whatever the objects you have here, you got here also. Are you understanding all this concept?
Will it happen automatically once you access this protocol, HTTPS and SSH, or like do you have to manually push it for the?
Manually push and pull. Automatically nothing happens actually. We have to do that.
Okay.
So you do the push. I'll put it in this way. I'll do the push to your repository. You'll give the location. Then all my objects will get pushed to your repository. You will get using checkout option on whatever it is. I can pull it also from your repository to mine. I'll get all of your committed options to mine repository. This is push and pull, helps you to sync. I repeat multiple times, syncing syncing the two repository. Theoretically, it's you. All of you got it.
Yeah.
So for a HTTP protocol, you need a web server, and for SSH, you know the IP address and username and keys and password, all this thing you needed. So that is something which has happened. But you know what? This is the theory. But what is the practical? So now what has happened? All four of us, there's a four people, let's say all of you, like Bimal, Samiran, Dhana, Priya, Rahul, Nafis, all of us decided, okay, let's do one thing. Let's do the push, pull, all this thing. And we get tired. We get frustrated, saying, hey, we're spending too much of time and push and pulling. This is not going to work out. So what we decided as a team, let's do one thing. Let's set up one more repository. I repeat, I am never saying server. I am saying repository. So let's set up one more repository, and instead of we do the push pull against each other and we waste time, let's do the push pull against this repository. Are you understanding now?
Yes.
So in this architecture, my repository, this is my laptop, okay? My repository is local repository, and for me all other repository like this and this is remote repository, but this repository is called central repository. Conceptually understand this. Central means central to the team. I'm not saying it's a server. I'm saying it's just a repository located in some common machines. For that we are doing against the push and pull. There is no server concept in Git. Are you understanding all of you so far?
Yes.
Okay. After that, what has happened? After some time, we practice this model, central repository. After that, Nafis started creating scene. What scene? So he's saying, Mr. Nafis, Fatima, uh, she's saying, uh, hey, I'm frustrated with the command line and all. I need a GUI on top of the central repository. Let me change the color. UI on the top of central repository. So Linus Torvalds said, no, sorry, we don't have any plan. We are busy in the kernel, Linux kernel. Then after some days, Dhana came and said, hey, I need a wiki integration on top of the central repository. Wiki means, remember that last session we had a confluence kind of things? Remember?
Yeah, conference, Atlassian.
Confluence. We need at central repository. Linus said, no. Priya came and said, she started shouting on the team management and saying that, hey, we need issue tracking. We are wasting so much of time. if the bugs can be installed here, code is here, so bugs should be here also at the same platform. Do you remember the Jira sort of tools which you discussed in the last session? Correct now? Issue
Yeah.
management tool. Yeah.
Yes.
So Linus Tobal said no plan. Then Rahul came and said, hey, I'm a CTO of the company. I need a role-based access control. That means I want to control someone access read, write, and I mean, whatever it is, delete or something. Linus said no plan. Then after some time, he said, Sanjay, he said, I'm security. I mean, I'm an admin guy. I want to manage not one repository at this place. I want to manage multiple repository. One, two. Let me change the color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 100 remote repository. So what I'm trying to tell you here is over the period of time from the engineer, from the administrator, from the security guy, and from the management, they started demanding more feature and feature. But every time Git declined that. What feature? UI, issue tracking at same platform, knowledge management at same platform, the ability to manage multiple remote repository at the same place, and role-based access control, and hooks, this that hell lot of features people started demanding. And every time Git Linus Tobal said no, this is required for enterprises to run, but every time it said no. So that is where many organizations has come up. Which organizations? Let me name it: GitHub, GitLab, and Bitbucket. So many actually, guys. So many. Gerrit, AWS, Azure, GC, Google. So many organizations. Too many tools are there. Sometimes I get frustrated. So all this has come up, and they said, "Hey, no problem. You love Git. I know that. Everyone love Git because of it create a independent environment for development. Okay, so you can have a complete control over the repository, but at the same time integration is challenge and you want all these features. So Git is not giving you that feature, so let me give it these features to you. And that is where the GitHub has come, and GitLab and Bitbucket and all that stuff has come and say we will provide you that feature. What you have to do, you have to pay a little bit of money. Understood now what is a GitHub, what is a GitLab, what is a Bitbucket, and all of you?
So they are like client partners, or they are like additional supplier of tools. Like what their role is. They just
So they are a software. They have created a software where
okay,
you can host multiple remote or central repository.
okay,
Simple.
okay.
They have a rich UI which you love it. They have a rollback access control which you need it for security. They have a issue management, uh, same place. They have a blogs, wiki have a same place, and tens of different features. Nowadays CI/CD also is been coming on the this platform only. So these GitHub server is, you can call it. Why? Because GitHub is a software, but Git server you should not call it, because Git is something which I discuss initially here. This is Git. Make sense?
So you install Git on your local, and you buy
Hmm.
GitHub repository from GitHub from two
So what
places.
you do, I'll tell you. Install the Git in the local. Why? Because you want to version your code which you write daily.
Yeah.
How do you version? Add commit, version the code, and that version code if you want to share with your teammates. So for that you use any of this place,
Buy
which
the
can be
buy the software,
remote.
install it on some server,
Yeah.
then you come.
Yes. Okay. So now can I go ahead and go to the github.com? My system is hanging today too much. It's my mistake only. It's not restarted multiple days. Okay, so here, this is the GitHub. I've logged in. You can log out, log in, all this thing you can do that. This is the GitHub. Okay, it's a free account. Everyone should register it. Okay, and here Let me go to one organization which I use for the training. Temporary. So view organization. Multiple organizations I have created. Free. All these are free actually for free project. So guys, look at my screen. So this is my repository. I want to create one more one repository at a GitHub. So can we see that? Click on the repository, create repository. Today is Saturday, right? Saturday and March and 2023. Public means anyone can see, only you can modify. Private means no one can see, only you can modify. So created repository. So which are the protocol I said? Remember HTTPS, this is the URL, SSH protocol, this is the URL. Okay. So now HTTPS, SSH. HTTPS, you require the token. This token, we call it token, okay? And then SSH, you require the keys to be uploaded. I'll show you both. So first I'll show you the SSH. So what to do? So look at my screen, guys. How many commits you have? 3 commits on 4 commits you have it. What I want to do, git push. Where? Remember push pull. I want to give it to here. Copy, paste it. And which branch? Master branch. Remember HTTPS protocol, it will prompt you the user ID, I mean token, not a password. See, this password is different, token password is different. I'll show you that how to get the token. It will prompt you some options. My system is little slow, so bear it with it. And shows some error. No problem, rerun it one more time. Okay. So see here, if you run one more time, it will prompt you. And here, if you see this error, and then you will start troubleshooting. So that is something not good. See here, this is the prompt has come. So you have to give the token here, PAT, personal access token. This prompt has come now. So what to do? From where we get the token? So you'll be in the recording. Don't worry about that. Here, let me close few URL. So you go to the here, open setting, and here go to developer setting, and here you see pat, go for classic. This is the older one, delete this, generate a new one, password, demo, give access as per your need. I'm not reading too much, else you'll get irritated from this. So I'm giving blindly every access. You should not do that, but just learning purpose, right? In the production, there's so many checklist is there to be follow. Here, this is the token, copy this token and give it, and go to the command line, HTTPS protocol. Okay, see, done. Let's wait for a few seconds. Done. Can I go back, refresh? See, do you want to see the commit? 3 commits, remember that? So
Yeah.
whatever I had did in the local, you have it. So what exactly you get it? So you get all this stuff. Let me show you. So first of all, you got a UI. People were fighting for it. You got a UI, and you can browse everything. Every files you can click and browse. I don't think so I have to teach you something here. The more you time spend, you will get it. Issue tracking tool like a Jira. Wiki like a Confluence. Okay, CI/CD options, here you get it. Security audit, here you have it. Role based access control, you want to give it in the setting, you have that options. Okay, so every features you got it here, and this is what you were looking for. And not only one repository, this I created only one repository. Like that, hundred and thousands of repository you can manage at a GitHub, a remote repository, central repository. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah.
Oh,
So this is only on the GitHub you're doing. Similarly, same thing can be done at GitLab as well, right?
Yes, yes, same thing. Little UI changes, conceptually 100% same.
Okay. And how safe is
UI,
this? How safe are these codes? Because I'm giving to the third party. It's not you're storing at your local repository. It's a central
this is
repository.
hosted in the cloud. So if you go to the GitHub and say, hey, GitHub, I want to host this software, whatever you see in my private servers, that is possible. That's called enterprise, GitHub enterprise.
Oh, okay.
So you'll have to pay for it. That.
Sure.
yeah, Rajesh. So is it we call it out as a master branch? So sometimes we heard, tag cutting and all that, branch cutting or something like that.
No, no,
So
no. That
okay,
branching concept we have at the repo level. This is not a GitHub level. Repo level means here you go. How many branch you have? This is a repo. And see, this is only one branch I'm having. I have not created multiple branch. So here also
okay,
local. I remember that I said sync. Don't get confused. So here you are
okay.
syncing your local repository with a repository hosted by github.com. Mind it. That's the reason I said sync. Got it? Okay. So now how other people will work? How other people? So he will clone it. Clone means Matrix movie you have seen, right? All of you? Clone. Yeah, same clone.
Yeah.
So clone means clone. So I'll clone it. I'll open up git bash here. Let's use the command line because git bash is being very slow in my machines over the period of time. Now you understand this. So command line and HTTPS protocol git clone. I'm acting like a different person. Okay, I'm acting like a different person right now.
Yeah.
So I've cloned it. What to do? So if I show you the directory, see here I have cloned it. This is my clone one. So go to sat and I'll act like a different developers. How do I do that? So let me create a file. Which command is there in the Windows? No, that's the reason I like that git bash. Okay, it saved my time and effort. So here file 4.java. This is my new code I'm writing. Okay, and this is the special code. Don't laugh. And here what to do? So I'll see the git command line git status. So here you see that this file is to be committed. So git config, you remember the first time you have to do user dot name other user. Okay, Raju ban gaya gentleman. Okay, that's a name. Git config user dot email and Ramu Kaka at kaka.com and git add, I did it, no, add all, only one files. Git commit hyphen m, adding other user by other user Ramu Kaka, something like that. And here if you see git log, if you see that very carefully, this commit was Rajesh Kumar, commit Rajesh Kumar by other user, but this is me, Raju Bana, whatever it is. And then what should do? You should do git push. And so what happened when you clone it? When you clone it, okay. Here I cloned it. If you remember, somewhere it's lost, right? So when you clone it, that name, this name this name is been shortened to one aliases which you call origin. So this you can write it this way also, push and master, pull push URL and master. You're pushing right now buying other user, I can push it, but when you clone it, this become a one alias, and the name of the alias called origin. I repeat, it's alias for that particular long name because you can't remember that. So git push origin master, and now it should prompt me some because HTTPS, right? So that it should prompt me this one, what is it, token and all. Let me see if it is the same machine, it has stored somewhere, it should be taken. Yeah, it's taken actually because it's the same machine. So can we go and check, refresh? See here, file 4.txt, 1 minute ago, 4 commits, complete details you can see here. And look at this, the commit message, the files you click, all this thing you can check it out, and done. So now what other user, what he did, he cloned it, modify the code, committed it, add it, committed it, pushed it to the remote, which is a GitHub. And after that, me, what I will do, see, I still have only 3 files. So what should what should I do? You tell me. What should I do?
Pull.
Sync.
Yeah.
No syncing.
Git sync command is not there. It's a concept.
Okay.
Concept
Yeah.
I'm saying. So
Yeah.
git pull, and here URL and master. But you know what, URL, the one which is this one, which is I can't remember this. So can I use origin here? So origin is not set because I did not clone it, so origin is not set. It says, hey, origin is not exist. So what to do, I can create a origin. So alias is alias, let's short link. Okay, how do you create? So git remote add origin, and what is the name URL of it? This is the one. And so now here also I can use origin. So git pull origin master, pull origin master. So I'm pulling the commit which was done by other user, and now you know the full flow of how we work with Git and GitHub. Both are different platform. Don't confuse yourself. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah, Raj.
Yeah.
See, this is the other users, Ramu Kaka one. So here you got it. So now, guys, this is the way you work. Mind it. I repeat, 100% activity related to Git you do in your local repo. 100%, except one thing: push and pull. Hardcode this statement. Everything you do in your local repo except push and pull. Push and pull you do with a remote repo, central repo, and this can be your GitHub repo or GitLab repo or whatever it is. Bitbucket also. Make sense?
Yeah, Rajesh. Can you do one more thing with SSH you did for
Huh.
HTTPS?
So now SSH. So here I use HTTPS all the time. Okay. So for HTTPS, you need a token, not a GitHub password. I'm repeating, it'll be in record. So not a GitHub password, it's a token. How do we generate? I showed you. But for SSH, how do we do that? So for SSH, URL will change. This is the username, git, this is the pattern, and this is the repo name, path, and all. So how do you do that? So for that, you SSH, you don't need a password, but you need a keys. Which key? So you have to generate a key. Let me show you. You have to, you first go and check. Don't do blindly. Once again, few people did that in the past blindly, and they destroy their office setup. Office setup means sometime you need to have some keys for your office production setup. So do with the care. I don't know whether you are having that key, using it. If you're using it, then use it. Don't create it. So for example, where is the key location? So user home.ssh, where is ssh? Here. So this is the private key, this is the public key. Now some people will not have a public and private key, so you can generate it. Git bash you can run, and you can generate it. How can you generate it? Just run this command, ssh hyphen key gen. You can generate it. But the problem is, mind it here, guys, if you generate it, old keys will be replaced. If you really want to replace, then run this command. And if you don't have these two files, then run this command. So these decisions you have to take care of it. I'm not going to generate control C. I did not do that. And I cancel this because I have this file. So if you don't have a file, this command is okay to run. You can run on PowerShell also, git bash also. I don't know the command line it will work or not. Just try it out. For PowerShell it will work. So now this is a private key you should not share with anyone. This is a public key you can share with everyone. So what will happen? What will happen? This public key, I'll tell you the concept. And it's not a GitHub concept, it's everywhere. So this is your laptop and this is a server. In this scenario, my server is GitHub. So what will happen when you give this public key and upload here, okay, upload here, okay, some places I'll show you. So that means you will be able to access this repo or resources, whichever is there, without any password. Okay, that is something which you have to do. So how to do that? So this is the public key. I'll take a content for this file. This is the content. And I'll go to this location. Please, it'll be in the recording. Go to the setting, user setting. And here you see the SSH and GPG. And here new SSH key. Okay. And here is a laptop. And here you paste it. That's all. Now this this key I have already uploaded, so this error is coming. If it is a unique key, this error you will not get. Okay, so this key you will have it, and here you will see the list of keys. So now we'll say, Rajesh, you have already used this key and it should show here, right? Actually, I have not used this key in this account, some other account I have used it, and key is unique to the whole system, so that way detected. So if it is a unique key, you will not have this error. And here you get it. After that, nothing else, use SSH URL without a password. So what you have to do? Simple thing, public key upload to GitHub, you can use SSH. If public key is not available, generate using SSH-keygen and upload to GitHub and use it. Simple. Got it, all of you?
Got it, Rajesh. What is this private key for? Like, why we need that one? So when you generate, it
So
will have both private and public key.
no. You will generate a public key and private key both, but if the private key is not in there in that location, your access will not be connected. I mean, it's a SSH authentication method. So your public key and private key should be in sync to allow the authentication. So if you delete that private key from your machine, then that machine will not be able to access GitHub. So both has to be in sync. Okay, all of you understood that now?
Yeah, Rajesh. And you're using a browser setting to go and update this SSH, right? That's the only place
Yes.
we need to do that.
Yeah, that's the only place you have to do that.
Okay.
Go to the setting. So many options we have at GitHub. Not everything is required for time being, but yeah, this is the one, SSH key. You'll be having the recording, you can do that. Okay, so this is the Git.
If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.